welcome back to Quicks14Blog. Quickshot14 here, showing you some more WoW. This time we're going for another old school raid with my guild, the Daily Grind. We are in Serpentshrine Cavern, which is an old Burning Crusade raid that not a lot of people run. Despite some popular belief, there is no attunement quest required anymore, even though they still exist. All you need is a raid group, head towards for the waterfall, and coil fangs, where by coil fangs and transcend, it'll open right up for you. Probably the reason people don't like this instance too much is a lot of the elevators can be a bit of a pain, especially that first one. But honestly, we had a lot of fun. As you can see here, we're running this with about 14, maybe 15 people tops, and just had a blast. I think there was only maybe one level 70 or a couple level 70s in the group, which made for a lot of fun. The bosses can really be killed in any order here. They don't matter, but we went ahead and decided to kill the bosses in an order that worked for us. So we're killing our first boss here, this little water tide guy. Not a big deal at all. Pretty easy for level 80 with all these 80s too. And we went ahead and killed him as our first boss. Excuse me. Some great old Burning Crusade gear in here. It's a great place for level 70s to come along if you're running a group like this for your guild. It's also nice to run these older instances because they're much more relaxed. They're much more easier because you usually don't have to worry about as much, and you get some nice bling and of course some great achievements to go along with it. So, and it's really cool to see some of the older content that maybe a lot of you did not get to see, like myself. I didn't get to see much of any of the older raid content because I never made it to max level during the original WoW or Burning Crusade. So it's a treat to do this, and my wife really wanted to do this a lot, so we decided to go have this as our first Burning Crusade old school raid. And for those of you again who don't know what the heck Serpentshrine is, it's Lady Vash's raid, and this is where she resides, and she's probably the most difficult fight, much like Idolin is in Black Temple. And unfortunately, I didn't get as much recorded of her as I would have liked. We did wipe once, and the second time we got her, once we figured things out. So before we get up to her, I will try to explain her fight a little bit, even though I'm unfortunately unable to show it to you all, because I just did not get the footage. So here we are. That was the second boss that we downed. Now we're going to the third boss. This boss used to have a lengthy explanation, one of the more difficult bosses. This will actually make you work, especially if you're a healer, because there's different effects and things that these guys do. There's just like this typhoon whirlwind effect right there that can get caught, like a tornado that you can get caught in. There's all kinds of things. I think we had a couple of deaths, but we did okay. This was a lot of fun, and it wasn't as hard as some old school ones. It's also not as long as some of the older school ones, like Black Temple. And like I said, these bosses can be killed in any order. In fact, I believe you can actually ignore them all and go straight to Lady Vash herself and just kill her. So if all you want is the achievement for your guild, you don't want to die with this, you just got 80s, you just want to go kill her, you can by all means do that. You'll only have to kill probably one boss, and that's that water boss you saw at the beginning, in order to get to where she's at. Because we almost accidentally did that, and I'm like, wait guys, let's go kill the other bosses. And I believe the achievement only requires for Serpentshrine just to kill her. I don't think it requires you to kill all the other bosses. I'm not 100% sure on that right now. I'd have to look it up. This was one of the longer boss fights we had, besides probably the second to last with Lady Vash, and then of course Lady Vash herself, just because of the array of boss and adds and abilities these guys do. But it was a ton of fun. I know my wife was so excited about it. We had a lot of great people come in and do it. This was almost a pure yeah, almost a pure guild run. We did pug a few extra people to go ahead and join us, and we did have a few people come in from the guild later on when people had to fall out. So it kind of started as half of a pug, and I think it turned into a full guild run by the end, which was really cool. So that takes care of that boss. Next boss is this guy. Very interesting to note is those waterfalls actually do damage, and he's going to stick you guys in there, and he's going to do adds of murlocs. You know, I thought that was great. Very, very interesting how that boss works. Basically, you can't do much of anything while you're in that water thing. You can be healed through it, so it's not a huge deal. But you want to make sure that you don't come out of that water until you're pretty much healed, because he does a smash, and if you are level 70-ish or in those areas, it's going to hurt. So I luckily did not get put in a watery grave, which was good. I believe we're doing this, if I remember correctly, with 2 or 3 healers. Probably 2. No, I think there's at least 3 of us here. I can't recall. So it's not a big deal. We had a wide variety of DPS, obviously. Quite a few hunters and mages, which was nice, and a couple of warlocks, pallies, some warrior tanks, just good times. So as you can see, these Murloc ads come from the south here where I'm at, and then also north of where he's at. So they need to be handled. Otherwise they will harass it. And they actually hit pretty hard for Murlocs. They have a lot of hit points, and they hit for about 400 standard on most things. So, you know, unless you're a healer, you're not going to be able to take that very much, and it just takes away healing from you. So it's better for the off tank to just grab them and get a hold of them, and then just go ahead and DPS them down with AoEs. Watery globes near the end. Basic idea here is just stay away from getting caught by them, or that will happen to you. You'll get frozen in a block of ice, and you're not going to be able to do anything for much. I couldn't quite get away from that one, so not that hard. Pretty easy. We had some extra ads we had to kill that were attacking my wife, but other than that, good. And of course, one of the easier bosses to do is to fish up this guy. As you can see, only Alan actually got that achievement because he was the only one fishing in the proper place. If everybody was fishing, I believe, in that proper place, they all would have gotten it. So it's important that if you want to make sure your entire raid gets it, you need to make sure you get that. Lurker below isn't very hard. He's a long fight, though. The basic idea for this deep breath, as you can see, I got hit by it and got thrown way far away, is when he gets ready to do that, is either stay ahead of it, or you can just plop underneath the water and kind of hide from it. It actually does work. As you notice, some of us are on the island and everything. That works too. Every now and then he's going to go underneath the water, and these ads are going to come out. They're going to have to be burnt down. We've got melee ads up on this ring, and then on each little island to the left and the right, there's some ranged ads. That's pretty much the fight. You just rinse and repeat that until he's down. So that's pretty much him. So Lady Vash, very interesting fight. She's still pretty much a difficulty for those not used to it. Phase 1 and Phase 3 are not too difficult, honestly. Phase 2 is probably the most difficult because of what she does. Unless you really have people do it. She puts out this shield, and you need to turn it off. There's these stalkers. Stalkers are probably the most important thing to handle. If you see a stalker, you can't get near it. It pulses a fear debuff, and unless you have unfear debuffs, you're in big trouble. So the basic idea is to make sure people make the stalkers, as they're called out, a targeting priority, so you don't get so many. The basic idea is these green elementals are going to show up. They need to be killed, and the little core that they hold needs to be kind of football thrown up to the shield generators in order to bring them down. Once the shield generator is down, she's released, and Phase 3 begins, and you can pretty much finish her off. We found that calling out, pinging the map, specifying where those stalkers were, and making sure all DPS burn them down as quickly as possible worked, and it kept, because the first time we didn't do that, and we were all over the place, and there just got to be so many that it just, because its fear is horrible, and there's not much you can do about it. So if you do that, you shouldn't have much of a problem handling phase 2, and you can bring this bitch down. So that's pretty much all I have. I apologize for not having more footage of Lady Vosh. Hopefully I'll have some more at a later date. Any questions, comments? Of course, please post them. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Lots more WoW videos coming up, of course, and more LPs as well. So stick around. I appreciate everyone. Thanks as always. It's a pleasure to continue to bring this stuff to you. Add-on specials hopefully soon. They keep changing, and 3.3 is on the brink, so who knows. Until next time, guys, again, rate, comment, and subscribe. Spread the word. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Enjoy the Turkey Day.